The reason why a lot of people won't become who they want is because they're too attached to who they've been. And you hear it all the time when people say, I've always been this way. Okay, well, if that's working for you, keep doing that. I knew it wasn't working for me any longer. I had hit my version of rock bottom. So I was willing to let go of everything and everybody. See, another reason why people won't get there is because the doorway is for you to fit through. You're trying to carry everybody else through because you're trying to be Rescue 911. And you got to rescue you first. I am much more valuable to my family and to my community because I was willing to let them go through the door myself, teach myself, learn myself, condition myself, and then come back and get them. I'm much more valuable to them now. The reason why a lot of people won't become who they want is because they're too attached to who they've been. And you hear it all the time when people say, I've always been this way. Okay, well, if that's working for you, keep doing that. I knew it wasn't working for me any longer. I had hit my version of rock bottom. So I was willing to let go of everything and everybody. See, another reason why people won't get there is because the doorway is for you to fit through. You're trying to carry everybody else through because you're trying to be Rescue 911. And you got to rescue you first. I am much more valuable to my family and to my community because I was willing to let them go through the door myself, teach myself, learn myself, condition myself, and then come back and get them.
I want you guys to hear this. I'm playing it over and over again for a little bit.
The reason why a lot of people won't become who they want is because they're too attached to who they've been. And you hear it all the time when people say, I've always been this way. Okay, well, if that's working for you, keep doing that. I knew it wasn't working for me any longer. I had hit my version of rock bottom. So I was willing to let go of everything and everybody. See, another reason why people won't get there is because the doorway is for you to fit through. You're trying to carry everybody else through because you're trying to be Rescue 911. And you got to rescue you first. I am much more valuable to my family and to my community because I was willing to let them go through the door myself, teach myself, learn myself, condition myself, and then come back and get them.
All right. So this is very, very important, y'all. And I'm just grateful for this beautiful woman that spoke these painful words about her own life and where she is, and just realizing that she had to rescue herself first before she could rescue someone else. She had to take stock of who she is and what she wants to accomplish before she could rescue someone else. We're going to talk today, and my message is simple. My message is the past over, not Easter. The past over, not Easter. Welcome, welcome. My name is Meka Alban Yahosharal. Meka Alban Yahosharal, and I'm grateful and thankful for you to be joining me. And I'm grateful and thankful for joining you today on Truth Matters Broadcasting, where we discern the truth about religion, the kingdom of Yahweh, aka God, and the church. I'm a little excited. Trying out my new lights. I just got them O-rings. This one is awesome because I can put 3 cameras up and shine, actually 3 phones, and shine from this ring and give me different lights and stuff. It's really awesome. As you can see, changing from green to purple to blue to red. You know what I mean? It's awesome. But it also gives me options. Watch that. I'm digging it, man. Look at that. I can wheel different colors. I wish you could see that, but I hope you can see my reflection on the background here. And I can say, you know what? Enough of that. Let there be light. And there was light. I like this thing. I'm a man of light. So I like lots of light. I don't like darkness at all. Welcome to Truth Matters Broadcasting, where we discern the truth about religion, the kingdom of God, Yahweh, and the church. This is going to be very interesting. This is going to be a very interesting one today. Truth Matters Broadcasting, T.M.B for short. Where we, the listeners, discern for ourselves the truth about religion, the kingdom of Yahweh, and the church. Truth Matters Broadcasting is an online ministry, an educational ministry for each individual to decide for themselves what the truth is based on what they have heard and what they have researched for themselves. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to get right to it. Don't forget, though, to like and share our page. You can follow us on Facebook at Michael L. Sewell SR, on YouTube at Michael Sewell SR, and on TikTok at Michael L. Sewell SR .2. Please follow our alternate page on TikTok at Passionate for Truth. We want to get that page up to 1,000 followers so we can go live. My message today is titled, I would like to say, my message of inspiration. It's titled, The Passover, Not Easter. Stick around. There's a lot of people over here telling you got to celebrate the Passover and the feast days and all these things. What are your thoughts? I do have a phone number that we can call in. You guys choose to call in. We can have this conversation and we can have it peacefully. The number is 207-844-9653, 207-844-9653, 207. What was that? 844-9653. All right, let's get into it, man. All right, so we're calling this one the Passover, not Easter. I got up this morning and my mindset was to be inspired to preach making a decision, the power of decision. That was the message that was on my mind this morning. I wanted to come over here and talk to you about the power of decision. And this insert that I got was so powerful because it just really focused the attention where the attention belongs. It focused the attention on the individual. We must understand that as individuals, we will stand before the Most High God. Whether you believe in that God or not, whether you understand that there is a God who created the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested on the Shabbat, whether you believe that or understand that, it doesn't change the facts. God is God. Yahweh is Yahweh. That's his name, Yahweh. And he will call an account for every living soul on the planet. I know, ladies and gentlemen, you were born and you one day will die. And the wages of sin is death. And because death is happening, I know there's a God. And his word is being fulfilled. So I want to talk to you. Oh, got banned again? Oh, got suspended again. For what? What was my violation? They do this to me all the time, guys. They do this to me all the time. I was just suspended on TikTok. Anytime you step in the realm of the truth, you're going to get suspended. You're going to get suspended. And this is why I ask people to follow me on TikTok at Passionate for Truth, because when they suspend one page, you can get another page. Anytime you do a topic against the system, that is, I'm surprised Facebook have not suspended me yet too. I'd be surprised if they don't. You see, Easter is a celebrated event all over the world. Even the Jews today celebrate Easter because they line it up with the Passover. If you look at the Christian Passover and the Jewish Passover, they're pretty much lined up. But there's some things that you need to understand, and there's some things you need to learn. The Passover that is given to us on Easter Sunday, which is tomorrow, is not the Passover from Scripture. It's not the Passover at all. And so, of course, they would suspend me. Why would I not expect anything less than a suspension? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, look at that. They suspended my account on TikTok. Can you see it? There you go. Live access suspended. What's my title? The Passover, not Easter. Illegal activities and regulated goods. That was my violation, ladies and gentlemen. You can see it for yourself. What do you say there? Illegal activities and regulated goods. And then they asked on the bottom there, was that a mistake? You can see that. Let me see if I can raise that up a little bit. Was that a mistake? No, it wasn't a mistake. And I will not apologize. It's not a mistake. But they suspended it anyway, because I just violated community guidelines. Now, if you have a TikTok account, you will see all sorts of things on there. You'll see people getting robbed, killed, showing their ass, showing their genitals. You'll see people doing all type of lewdness and lawlessness, saying all type of things, simulating and imitating all kind of adultery and sexual perversions and all type of things. And when you look at the count of views and followers that they have, millions. But when I come up here and say my title, The Passover, not Easter, they suspended me. You've been on here. You've heard it. Have I said anything? Have I done anything in your sight? Have I said and done anything warrant a suspension on TikTok? TikTok is a Chinese company. What the hell do they know about Easter anyway? What is it about Easter that they don't want me to get out to those who are listening to me? But again, in this world, we will have trouble. Yahushua told us that the world will hate us. The world will hate us. You don't see anything yet. They will come for us. They will, because we're speaking out against it. We're speaking that the world is in violation of the commandments of the Most High God. And when you stand up for God, the world will hate you. And those who are closest to you, who call you friend, who call you brother, will turn against you. When it comes down to their food, when it comes down to their life, their livelihood, they will turn against you. And because lawlessness will abound, The love of many shall wax cold. So if you call yourself a man and woman of God, Yahweh, you better be ready. You better be ready to give up all you have. Because if you're not, you will not make it into the kingdom of God. And the kingdom of heaven is here and it's right now. Eternal life is now. It's not something you get in the afterlife. There's no such thing as afterlife. It's a term that was given to us. There's no afterlife. It's either life or death. There is an eternal death, though. Eternal nothingness. But there's also an eternal life. And those who dies in this truth will live forever. Death is like sleep. You know, you go to bed, you close your eyes. After you close your eyes, you're still awake. You still can hear something. And your brain is shutting down. And the last senses of your body to go is your hearing. And when your hearing gone, you're in a state of consciousness because you're alive, but you're actually dead. You know, when a person has no brain activities and they're in the hospital under a coma, right? It's considered death. But they say brain death, our brain dead. And they do that for a reason, because the person have no cognitive thought. But at some point in the morning, your body's trained. The great God of heaven open up your eyes and you get to see another day. So death and life is in the hands of the Most High God. And you, ladies and gentlemen, one day will stand before him and you will give an account for your life. So will I. That is why I am not here to tell you what to do, how to do it, what to think, or how to think it. You are a free agent. You are a free agent created in the image of the Most High God. You have a choice, the power of choice, the power of decision. You have to make that decision. So at the end of your life, only you can give an account for what you've done, what you've heard, what you've said, and what you do. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing Yahweh's word. Today, by his spirit, I give you his word. And that's why I like Truth Matters Broadcasting, because Truth Matters Broadcasting is not a church. So don't think when you come on here, you're in some sort of church. You're not in a church. If you go to church, you don't know the truth. Let me say that one more time. I want you to look me in the eyes. I want to look you in the eyes. If you go to church, you don't know the truth, because you're not designed to go to church. You're designed to be the church. There's a difference. When you go to church, you're being controlled. But when you are the church, the spirit of Yahweh is in you. I've said this many times, and I keep saying it. The Bible mentions the word religion twice, only in the New Testament. Never once has it come out of the mouth of Yahweh. Never once. The Bible mentioned the word Christian 3 times, and never once has it come out of the mouth of Yahweh or of his Christ. There's some people right now on Facebook, was brought to my attention by a beautiful sister of mine, who says these guys are coming on TikTok and they're saying that they are the Christ and that they did not come to call everybody, but they come for the teachers because they're teaching error and they come to set them straight. These people are calling themselves the true Christ. And they tell you that the Bible is not the right book and blah, 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 blue. Yet they call themselves the Christ, which comes from the Bible, which comes from, it's a Greek word, which comes from the word Christos. It's a Greek word. The word Christ is never mentioned in the writings of the prophets. They don't know who that is. Okay? The word Christus means to sprinkle grease, to smear grease. That's the actual meaning of it. Okay? The anointing, or the Mashiach, is to pour, the one that was chosen by the Father to deliver, to be the Word living. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. So, suspended. I hate the fact that I'm suspended on TikTok, because TikTok is one of my biggest platforms. At one point, I had over 60,000 followers. 60,000 followers on TikTok. And they suspended me. This is not the first time I'm suspended, expelled. Facebook suspended me many, many times and blocked me from going live many, many times. All right. And it's because of Facebook that blocked me that brought me to TikTok. And TikTok to me is a super highway for souls. Super highway for souls. And so I could understand, because that's where a lot of souls spend their time. So here on Truth Matters Broadcasting, we just want to go out into the world obeying the voice of Yahushai, who says, go into all the world, make disciples of all nations, baptize them in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and teach them to obey everything I've commanded you. And surely I'm with you. So they suspended my live, but I still got TikTok, but pretty soon I'm gone, because that's how they do it. They normally suspend my live, and then they suspend my account. But for some reason, they don't erase my account. I somehow able to go back and find one of my old accounts and act that up again. And so right now I'm building Passionate for Truth on TikTok. I want to have like 5 or 6 different platforms, because I'm going to keep going back into TikTok, the TikTok world, and rescue as many of Yahweh's people as I possibly can. So please be praying for me that Yahweh opens doors, that his words be spoken. All right. So, couple of things. My title again is The Passover, Not Easter. Now, why do I title this The Passover? I was talking to a friend of mine today, a brother of mine, Clayton, and he was saying, are you going to talk about the Passover? No, I try not to talk about the topics people are talking about, because guess what? I'm not of this world, so I don't operate like the world. I don't think like the world. I don't operate like the world. So I try not to be, when the world is doing something, I try to do the opposite. But many, many people go to church on Easter Sunday. You ever wonder why Easter always falls on a Sunday? It's one of the not so many days that always fall on the same day of the week, no matter what year it is. And one of such days is Easter. Not even Christmas. Christmas does not fall on the same day. Christmas fall anytime. Could be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But Easter always fall on a Sunday. Now, let me educate you, and this is for your educational purposes. What you do with this is totally up to you. Do whatever you want. You have free will. I'm not here to taint your free will or tell you what to do or how to do it. I'm here to give you information, ladies and gentlemen, because knowledge is power. So I'm giving you power. Power without understanding is useless. If you have knowledge, you must have understanding. So I want to give you understanding. Understanding is comprehension. Comprehend how to disseminate or do the power or information that you have. Thirdly, you must have application. Application is wisdom. If you don't have wisdom, it's because you don't have understanding, and it's because you don't have information. So you must have the right information with the right understanding so you can have the right application. We're going to get deep. I'm not wasting no time. People's lives are in the balance. Many shall say unto me that day, Lord, Lord, have we not done this in your name and done that in your name, and in your name drive out demons? And he said, I am going to tell them plainly. I'm going to look right into your eyes, he said, and tell them plainly, I never knew you. I don't know if that scares somebody, but that scares me. That I could be on here, TikTok and Facebook and YouTube talking and pouring out my life. I'm tired, ladies and gentlemen. I am tired. I work hard all week, working on the barbershops, and I'm working hard all week. And I just want to rest. I just want to relax. But I have a duty to the Most High God to preach his words. So I must do it. Not in the format by which the world does it. He gave me my own platform. There's no one over me telling me how to preach, what I can and cannot say. There's nobody over me that's telling me I got to preach down this line or this format. I have the Spirit of the Most High God over me, and I only preach what he gives me to preach. I don't preach my own message. I don't have any written script. I just write down in my mind what I've heard, or it stays in my mind and I open my mouth. He said, if you open your mouth, I will fill it. I take him at his word. So I don't write down anything. I don't rehearse anything. So anything I say to you, I'm hearing it for the first time. That's why I go back and watch my own videos. You know, my wife said to me the other day, you watch your own videos? I say, yeah. How else I'm going to hear what I'm saying? How else? So let's get into it. The name Lucifer was given to a very high official, high-ranking angel created by God, Yahweh himself. And this angel had a responsibility. He had authority over other angels. He was the minister of music, worship, and praise. Matter of fact, he's the one who ushered in the praise to the Most High God. But one day pride fall up in his heart. He's figures right on the throne area there. He's a cherubim. He's walking up and down in the fires of God. All the other angels adore and love him. Why shouldn't he be worshipped as God? Why shouldn't he be in the Godhead? So pride rose up in his heart. Long story short, deception, deceiving the angels in heavenly realm. Started a war up there because he wants what he thought was rightfully his. Think about having a children in your own house that rise up against you, who thinks that the house belongs to him. Think about ancient times when a son could rise up against their fathers and put their fathers to death and take over their mothers as wives, or take the husband wives as their own. Think about that for a moment. So there was a war in heaven, but he lost that battle. He was kicked out of heaven. He became a fallen angel. You know, Los Angeles is considered the city of fallen angels. That's why it's called Los, which is short for lost. Angeles, which is called angels. So Los Angeles is the city of lost angels. It was said that's where they reside. It would make sense too, because that is where Hollywood is. That is where witchcraft is at its best. You ever wonder why all the movie stars, basketball stars, music stars lived in the city of Los Angeles? You ever wonder how and why, when you watch these videos and look at the background, you see all the symbols, hieroglyphics of ancient times, the pyramids, the sun symbol, the rays, spirits, all these things. So when you worship those stars, or when you call those stars and start doing what they say, and you are worshiping angels through them. The Bible teaches us that the devil, who was the dragon, took a third of the what? Of the what from heaven? Drew a third of the what? The stars from heaven. He was able to deceive 1/3 of the heavenly hosts. Took him with him to earth. If you don't know it by now, Satan, who was once Lucifer, the dragon, the serpent, lives on planet Earth. My Bible tells me that he deceived the entire world. And if he is after worship, then how did he do it? It has to be through worship. Have to be. Because that's how he did it in heaven, in the heavenly realm. So he have to do it on earth. So all the earth is worshiping Satan, unless they're worshiping the Father. That is why the Father himself says, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. There's a reason why he identified himself as the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's starting a lineage, a family line, a family tree of people who worship him as God. Speak unto Moses, who speak unto Aaron, and tell the children of Yahushua this: you must have no other gods before me. So, dealing with Easter, I just told you that Los Angeles, Los is short for lost. Angeles is short for angel. City of Los Angeles. Ask anybody who speaks Spanish, they'll tell you. So now we're going to look at the Easter. It's two words that became one word, ladies and gentlemen. Easter is two words that became one word. But we're dealing in deception here today, ladies and gentlemen. Let me read a scripture for you. Let's go to Revelation chapter 12, please. Let's read a scripture here. Revelation chapter 12, verse 7 through 9. And there was war in heaven. Michael, Michael, and his angel fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. They lost the war. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven. And that great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, we call him Satan today, which deceive the whole world. And his angels were cast out with him. So don't think for any moment that the world is on the side of the great God, Yahweh. The world is against God. As a matter of fact, the new world order is just that. bring the world under one system against God. If you think it's for man controlling you, you got another thing coming. All these men are just working at the feet of this dragon who promised them great reward if they worship him. Go to Matthew real quick. Matthew chapter 4. Let me prove that to you. Because we're getting into Easter. And since you're getting ready to go to church tomorrow, before you go, you want to hear this. Matthew chapter 4, verse 4. Let's start in verse 3. Matthew 4:3. And when the tempter came to Yahushua, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command these stones to be made bread. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceed out of the mouth of God. Yahweh. Every word. How are you to live? By every word that proceed out of the mouth of Yahweh. We're talking about passed over. You notice I didn't say Passover, because passed over is not one word, it's two words. Passed over is a celebrated event. That means it takes place already. It's not something that's coming, it's something that's already done. Passed over, that's what it's called. Past, it's past tense. P-A-S-S-E-D. Don't let anybody fool you and tell you it's Passover. Passover. No, it's passed over. Verse 5 of Matthew chapter 4 says, then the devil, who? The dragon, the serpent, Lucifer, Satan, take him up into the holy city and set him on the pinnacle of the temple and said unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge over thee in their hands, they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. What did Satan do? What Satan, the devil, the evil angel did? He went to the scripture, the very Bible, and he quotes it verbatim. He was telling the truth here, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, a liar can tell the truth. But if you understand who a liar is, ladies and gentlemen, a liar works in deception. So if a person is accustomed to lying, realize that his words or her words might be deceiving. So he told the truth for a purpose. The purpose was to get Yahushua, aka Jesus, to jump off the mountain at his command. Most people miss that here. Who brought him to the temple? Let's go back to verse 5. Then the devil take him up into the holy city and settled him on the pinnacles of the temple. Satan was the one who brought him up there. Satan is one who set him at the pinnacle of the temple. And Satan was the one says, jump. And he used the scriptures to do it. So if you think the scripture can't deceive you, you got another thing coming. It all depends on the person who's telling you and the reason behind why they're telling you to. This Bible is one of the greatest control weapon in the whole universe. And this Bible has been controlling us for eons. Because evil men got a hold of it because they're working for their evil father who tells them, if you do these things, all these riches is going to be given unto you. And so they've been doing it. That's why most of these evil men are rich. Look at your pastors, man. They live like rock stars. You see the cars that they drive in? Some of them have security. They're so well known. Look at their houses, the plane, the furnitures in their offices. And look at even, forget those rich people. Let's go down to the smallest pastor, the smallest denomination, the pastor who have a church around on the block, on the corner. Let's talk about him. Where's your tithes and offering goes? You think you're really giving it to God, don't it? You think you're giving your tithes and off. You think whenever you bring your money to the church, you're giving your tithes and offerings to God. You think you're doing it. And you don't realize you're being deceived. The minute I stop giving tithes and offerings to the church is the minute my life starts to change. I'm going to make that one sit. Because someone told you that this is how God, Yahweh, is going to bless you. And if you don't bring your tithes and offerings, you're robbing God. And you, like an idiot, like I was, kept bringing it and bringing it. But have you ever taken the time to ask the question where your money's going? What is your money doing? How many people in your church have benefit from the tithes and the offerings? I need you to read Deuteronomy chapter 14, please, starting verse 22, and you will see how Yahweh commands us to use tithes and offerings. They keep reading Malachi chapter 3:6 to you. Shall a man rob God, yet you have robbed me? Bring all the tithes and the offerings into my storehouse, that they may be meat in my house, and prove me therewith, and see if I won't open up that floodgates of heaven and pour you out the blessings. You will not have room enough to receive it. My question to you, ladies and gentlemen, all the tithes and offerings you've been bringing to that storehouse, where is your blessing? And don't tell me you have breath and life in you. Because whether you give life, tithes and offerings, you're still going to have breath and life in you unless Yahweh takes it. Don't tell me you got a job. Many people out there don't serve Yahweh, but they got a job. Many people out there that don't serve Yahweh, but they got money in the bank, can buy nice things. So don't give me that crap. You have no idea you've been deceived because you've been deceived by the church. Deuteronomy chapter 14. A matter of fact, who's to get the tithes and the offerings? Where does the tithe and the offering goes? Ladies and gentlemen, the tithes and the offerings goes back to you. You're supposed to eat it before the Lord. You're supposed to celebrate before the Lord for the good things he has done for you. And I just keep using that word Lord because I'm still in my mind, still after 40, 50 years of saying the word Lord, it's hard to be erased from my mind. Even the very word is deceiving, Lord. It's not in the original text, not in the original writings. The very word God is not there. We use word like Elohim and Lord and God. It's not the way we're supposed to say it. What we call Elohim is actually Elohim. What we call Lord is comes from the word Adonai, which the actual pronunciation of the word is Adonai. See, one little thing, Adonai, Adonai, one little spelling, one little letter that's off that can cause a mistranslation. So the actual way we're supposed to say it is Adonai Elohim, not Allah like the Muslims. They say Allah. Allah and Elohim is two different people. If you really look up Allah, you will see that he's the moon god. He's actually Satan. But people don't notice. I'm not going to go there because I don't want to get into any fight with nobody right now. Let me just continue the message I was given to give you. After that, you can call in. My number is 207-844-9653. Call in. Let's have the conversation. I'm not here to fight with you or argue with you. I'm here to give you some information. What you do with it is totally up to you. As for me and my husband, we will serve Elohim, our Adonai, because he's distinguished and he's distinct from any other God. Okay? So this Satan used the very scriptures to get Yahushai to do his commands. Now let's continue now. Yahushai said unto him, verse 7, it is written again. In other words, what Yahushua is teaching us, that you can't just take one word from someone and go do what they say. You got to go back to the pages. Precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Look at the whole picture. Get the big picture. You know, one of the first thing I learned when I was driving, and thank God for UPS, because I learned this through UPS, the 5 seeing habits. I never heard anybody talked about the 5 seeing habits except for UPS. So I take away that from UPS. And one of them was to get the big picture. So when you're driving down the road, don't just drive and watch the car in front of you or the 2 car. Get the big picture. See what's happening all around you. Keep your eyes moving at all times. That's one part of the second seeing habits, is to keep your eyes moving. And thirdly is to make sure that they see you. So there's a lot. Driving is not just relaxing. It's, you got to know what's happening around you so you can make the proper adjustment for the proper time. So you got to go back to the scriptures, ladies and gentlemen, because remember now, someone is giving you information. You have to have the right understanding of that information so that you can apply it rightly. Because if you don't, one deviation from it is error. And that's what it means when truth mixed with error. Because someone can tell you 99.999% of the truth and just add that little drop of error. Sound good, looks good, but it's not good. It's just like if someone give you a glass with drinks in it and drop just a drop of poison, one drop of poison in it, boop, and mix it up and hand it to you. Will you drink it? I use these things over and over, guys. I preach the same message over and over, man. If you've been a part of my broadcasting, you will see I don't have no new messages. I can't give you no new messages, because if you can't get through the basic stuff, then there's no training. You have to get through the basic stuff. That's why they call it basic training. You have to get the basics down. If you don't get the basics down, there's no sense training you. Here's the one I want you to see. Verse 8. Again, the devil. Who? Satan, the great serpent, the great deceiver, the dragon, Lucifer, take him into an exceedingly high mountain. So for us, an exceedingly high mountain would be Mount Everest. So he take him up to Mount Everest, right? And what did he do? And show him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. So whatever Satan have power to do, he took the Son of God, he took the messenger, the Mashiach, up into this high mountain, and for one instant show him all of the world. Maybe he showed him, well, he can't see the future, so he had to show him what he could see. So he probably showed him the Egyptians. He probably showed him the Philistines. He probably showed him the Romans. He probably showed him all the, and says, listen to what he says here. What it says. Listen to what he said. The kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. And he said unto him, all these things will I give you if you will fall down and worship me. I draw this point to tell you that those men you call pastors and women that you call pastors, they're all part of a secret alliance that is worshiping Satan. They will never tell you, because you see, they can use the name God. They can use the name Jesus to no avail to their deception, because the name God and the name Jesus was given to us by them, by those who commanded them. Jesus is not the name given by which we must be saved. Now let me see 5, 10, 15, 20, 100 of you just disappear right now. Let me just see you disappear now. Just go ahead. Because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, if you stop to think and just hear what I'm saying, telling you this message is not of the world. The name Jesus could never be the name given, because the name Jesus was given sometime after the year 1524. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an historical fact, and I'm going to give you the historical evidence. Go Google it for yourself. Google the letter J. Just the letter J. It's the last letter to enter the English language, the last letter to enter the alphabet before the year 1524. There was no letter J. Therefore, it never existed. It could not have been the name given by which we must be saved. But how many of you would just take the time to go do the research? Yahushua said, unless you're willing to give up everything you have, you will not make it into the kingdom. You are deceived, like I once was, until I opened my mouth and asked Yahweh to show me the truth. It changed my life. Just go do the research. For crying out loud, for heaven's sakes, go do the research so you can be set free. So these men and pastors and governments and officials don't think they have your best interests in hand. You either worship Satan or you're going to be destroyed. That is the option you have. Worship or die. The God we serve gives you a choice. He also gives you a choice. Choose me and live. Choose me and die. You have a choice. So let's focus a little bit on Easter. One of the only days, one of the very few days, are celebrated event that never change from year to year. It always land on a Sunday. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have not asked your question, why? How is that? Your birthday never land on the same day every year. Christmas doesn't land on the same day every year. How is it that Easter lands on Sunday every year? Because your calendars are programmed by those who set the calendar year to make sure that Sunday, that Easter lines up and lands on a Sunday. Did you know that there was one time that I can remember, I don't know if there's more, where Easter did not land on a Sunday? And I believe that the powers that be did not celebrate that day. Now, Easter is made up of two words, Eastern and star. I wonder if anybody hear me. It's two words that is combined to one. Because if anybody said to you right now, let's go to church and celebrate the Eastern Star, or let's go to church and celebrate Eastern Star, none of you would go. None of you would go. Because somewhere in this Bible, there's a God who said, thou shalt not bow thyself down. That's a matter of fact. Listen, let him speak for himself. You don't need me to speak for him. Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20, ladies and gentlemen. Exodus chapter 20. If this is the God you serve, then he's speaking to you. But if this is not the God you serve, then go worship your own God. And good luck. Because the God that I serve, the one true God, that his God, Yahweh Elohim, is going to bring the fight to your God. And I'm saying he going to destroy your God and you in the process because you worship that God. But listen to what he says here. Listen to what he says. Exodus 20 verse 1. And Elohim spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh, your Elohim, which has brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other Elohims before me. Come on now. Listen to this now. Listen to this. Thou shalt have no other Elohim before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the what? The heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor worship them. That's what serve mean. For I, your Yahweh, your Elohim, am the jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generations of them that hate me, and showing mercies unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. To love this Elohim is to keep his commandments. And his commandments is that we do not worship or bow down to any other God. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you something about statues. Image. An image is a law. A law is a statue. That governs people's lives. So when the law is given to bow down, will you bow down? This God says, do not bow down. That means I got to stand against it. And that's why I don't go to church nor celebrate Easter. Because if I celebrate Easter, I'm celebrating Satan, Lucifer, Satan. Satan, ladies and gentlemen, Lucifer, the dragon, the great serpent, the morning star. That's Satan. Now let me open your eyes real quickly. Which star comes out in the morning? Wish I could see y'all comments. If you're on Facebook, you can give me some comments here. Which star? Oh, I see Audrey, my beautiful sister, is on Facebook. Thank you. They shut me down again, Audrey. They shut me down again on Facebook. They say you have violated community standard. Which star come out in the morning, ladies and gentlemen? Which star comes out in the morning? Come on now. If you're watching me, if you're watching this program, your eyes are about to open wide. Because some of you are having your nice dress, ready to go to church. And those of you who don't normally go to church during the year, this is one of the 2 days you may go to church, which is Easter and Christmas, the most celebrated event in all the world. Which star comes out in the morning? Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, stars comes out at night. Yes, the stars comes out at night. You have to wait till it's dark to see stars. But there's one star that come out in the morning, which is called the morning star. If you say the sun, then you are 100% right. I hope some of your eyes are opening right now, because they've been closed a long time. You've been walking deceived a long time. You see why TikTok suspended me? TikTok suspended me. I'm gonna tell you why. Because TikTok takes its orders from the devil. Facebook is so controlled right now that this message is only going to a very selective few people that actually know me and want to hear what I'm saying. They cannot control TikTok, because TikTok, even though I may have 4 on my account, 5, 10, 15 on my account, TikTok still leak out to 1,000. When I stop TikTok, thinking I only have 15 people watching me, when I stop TikTok, TikTok give you like a summary of what was going on. And it tells you had 400 people watching the program. So God knows how many people would have heard what you're hearing today. You know, Yahweh tell his disciples, many people long to hear what you're hearing and did not hear it. You're hearing something that the world may miss today because they are under the deception that Easter is from Yahweh, it's from the one true Elohim, the one true God. It's not. Easter is in violation of God. Easter is violating the 10 commandments. God said we must not bow down to any and not make any image in the heavens above. I'm telling you, Easter is the sun. It's the worship of the sun. Now, here's the thing. Who is the representation of that sun? It's not the Son of God. It's not the Son of God. The Son of God is not represented by the sun. You notice that every picture you see of Jesus today, he has a sundial around his head. I'm telling you, Jesus. Let's watch. Let me show you pictures of Jesus now. Watch this. Every picture, or almost every picture of Jesus that you see today, he almost always standing in the sun or have a sundial around his head. Let's look at this one. Voila. What do you notice around his head? What is glazing around the back of his head? Okay. You can't see that one too closely. So let's find some more. Almost every pictures of him. You can't see it here, but it can look like he's standing in the shadows. But what is behind his head? The big old sundial around his head. The rays of the sun. Almost every picture you can see him in, there is a sundial around his head. Watch this. What do you notice? What do you notice? Okay, let's look at some more. Let's look at a couple more. So you see that I'm not. Oh, come on. You know, whenever you try to do something, there's always something, right? Ah, here's a better one. Voila. What do you notice around his head? What do you notice he's doing? That's the Baphomet sign he's holding up right there. See that? And that heart on his chest, I don't even want to tell you what that's all about. And the cross, I don't even want to go there because some of you think the cross is the cross of Christ. Let me tell y'all something, ladies and gentlemen. The cross is not a representation of this Christ. Well, in a sense, yes, because the Christ is the devil, but nobody wants to know that. It sounds like I'm blaspheming, but I'm not. All right, I think I show you enough evidence. Look at this one right here. You could barely see the line. Let me see. You see that? It's right there. Look at that. See that? And what is he doing again? He's holding up the Baphomet sign. Meaning they're one and the same. Let me show you this one more. This is powerful. This one right here is powerful. Watch this. Come on, man. All right. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Watch this. What do you notice there? The cross over the sun rays, and the sun is right at the tip of the cross. Did you know that the cross symbol, the symbol of the cross, is the first hieroglyphics of the sun god? That the cross is no new thing. At the cross, we write songs about it. The cross is no new thing. Comes from way back. It's an object of worship How many people pray, they clutch onto the cross? Or they go into the church and they kneel at the cross? They make song at the cross where I first saw the light, where the burden of my heart rolls away. Was there by faith I received my sight, and now I'm happy all the day. You think those songs are made from Yahweh? Those songs are instrument of worship. The cross is from the devil. When they hang Yahushua on the cross, and you know, to tell you the honest truth, what most people don't know, he wasn't hanged from some cross. He was actually hanged on a tree. I think that proves he was black, but that's another thing. Let's stay on topic here. Now 25 minutes to go. The Eastern Star, ladies and gentlemen, is the worship of Satan. It's the worship of Lucifer. So when you go to church on Easter, you think you're worshiping God. You think you're celebrating the Passover. You're not. When they give you a little piece of bread and a little piece of wine and tell you to eat this and you partake in that. I've done it for years, so I'm not judging you. I'm telling you what I've done. And you eating that, and you feel like, oh, this is the body that's broken for you. And then you drink that wine. Oh, this is the blood that poured out in the new covenant. Let me tell you something. That very cracker and that very little thing of juice that they give you is in violation of the commandments of God. Easter is the worship of Easter is the worship of Satan. I'm gonna tell you straight, plain. You do whatever you want with it. And the Passover in which you celebrate, you don't have a clue. You don't have a clue what it means to celebrate the Passover. I suggest you go and read Exodus chapter 12 and see what the commandments said about the celebration of the Passover. Even those who think they're keeping the Passover is not doing it properly. They might have a few little things about it, but they're not doing it. Oh, I just wish I was a good reader. But let me do my best here. Let's go to Exodus chapter 12, shall we? Let's see how we got a Passover in the first place, shall we? And the Lord, Yahweh, spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt. Where? In the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. So here is Yahweh giving them their calendar. You see, the world has a calendar. But Yahweh was creating his own right here. And he said, this will be the first month of the year. Listen to what he says. He goes on. Verse 2, let's start verse 2. This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. The calendar year begin on this day. It shall be the first month of the year for you. This is the beginning of the year. See, we have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Sound awesome, don't it? Did you know that 8 of those days, 8 of those names that I called just now are gods? How many of you knew that? How many of you knew that January is a god? February, March, April, May, June, July, August. How many of you knew that all was gods? You see, Julius Caesar, which the word July comes from, was worshipped as a god. His god was Zeus, or lightning, the god of thunder, the god of lightning. He was a sun god. And Augustus Caesar, where August come from, was also, because you see, when they took over the world, they wanted to make themselves worship as gods. That's why they have statues even unto this days. Didn't let the Father tell us not to make for ourselves any graven image? But anyway, January is a god, February is a god, March, April, May. Why you think we have the zodiac today? And all of you be say, what is your sign? What is your sign? Oh, you're an Aquarius. Oh, you're an Leo. You're a this, you're a Virgo. These are gods, ladies and gentlemen. You're not no Aquarius, Virgo. No, that was given to you by Satan himself. We've been deceived. You're created in the image of one God, not these gods. So when you talk about your Virgo and your Aquarius and what's your sign, you're commanded not to do these things if you worship this God. But if you don't worship this God, then go ahead and do your thing. But let's continue. Verse 3, speak ye unto the congregation of Yahusharah. Even the very word Israel. You notice when you see Israel, you always see I-S, comma, R-A, tac, E-L, I-S, a comma, R-A, I don't know if the underscore is a tac, E-L. You notice that the word never spells out Israel. There's always a ba, ba, ba. Because the very word Israel signifies three in one God. This is the Trinity God. So this Israel that makes it into our Bible is the real word, is not Israel. The actual real word is Yahusharah. That's why you hear me say these things. That's why you say my name is my birth name that was given to me through slavery by my father, who also was a slave, but he didn't know it because he was born in so-called freedom, is Michael Lawrence Sewell. That's my slave name that was given to me. Sewell is not my origin. Sewell is the name of my slave master. I carry his name. His children carry my name, carry his name. And generation and generation and generation will carry his name. That's why when Malcolm come on the scene, Malcolm said, my name is X. There's a reason why he said that, because he understood this very well. People hated him for it, but they didn't understand what he was trying to do. But he was caught up with the wrong teachings. He thought his fight was against the white man. And the white man this and the white man that. He didn't understand. But earlier on, when he went to Mecca and he saw how people live under the very same religion that taught him to hate, he said something is not right. Then when he came back to America, because he had the eyes and the ears of the people, he would have turned people from darkness to light. They said, now we got to get rid of this guy. You know, I have a dream that one day white men and black men and Jews and Gentiles will on the promised land. And that speech was so beautiful. And we remember that speech today, the I have a dream speech. Martin Luther King did not write that speech. He only read it and memorized it. Martin Luther King was a 33-degree Freemason. Anybody know that? His actual name was not Martin. His actual real name was Michael. Did you know that? How many people know that? Talk about deception. Now, if you're 33-degree Freemason, you will know that you are the worshiper of Lucifer. Anybody who is anybody will know this. You don't have to take my word for it. Just go read the writings of the Masons. They'll tell you themselves. Any degree under 30 degree doesn't know the true worship. Any degree after the 30th degree knows who they're worshiping. Now you're entering to a different sphere. Did you know that the great Nelson Mandela was a 33-degree Freemason? Now, if you know anything about this God that we worship, the first thing he said is, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Now, if you're a 33-degree Freemason, that means you worship another God. I'm giving you truth. What do you do with it? It's up to you. Just telling you the truth. Here's I'll give you one more. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, that was so dearly loved by millions, have the voice and hearts of millions. People see him, they fall down dead. Huh? Michael Jackson was a 33-degree Freemason. But something happened to Michael, you see. Michael started to see the truth. And because he had the voice of the people, everybody would listen to him. And when he started to speak, all I want to say is that they don't really care about us. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. When he started to speak and people start to listen, oh, Michael got to go. And anyone who stands up for this God will have to go. One day, I will have to go. Because I worship this God. But this God gets the last laugh. Because he's the God of all God and nothing can happen before he said it. And only this God knows the future. And his word is powerful, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is working just as he said it would. And he's in full control. He's the beginning and he's the end, the first and the last. You can't get past him. If you go down to the pits of hell, he's there. If you're under the water, he's there. You can't pass him. There's nothing that surprises him because past, present, and future stand right in front of him. Okay? Time itself waits on God. Yahweh. Time wait on Yahweh. Y'all didn't get that. So let me keep reading. We're talking Passover here. Verse 3 of Exodus 12. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Yahosharal. That's the real name. Saying, in the 10th day of the month, of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a house, a whole lamb. Not a piece of lamb, a whole lamb. But hold on, there's more to the instructions. Pay attention to the instructions. Remember, I tell you, knowledge is power. It's information. And that information instructs. So in order to carry out the information, you have to have the understanding, the comprehension, and then the application. So if you're doing something without the understanding of that something, without the right information of that something, ladies and gentlemen, you are doing it in error. And since Yahweh does not operate in error, somewhere, somehow, he's going to stop you because you're claiming to glorify him and you're not doing what he says. So he's going to stop you because he knows your heart. He knows that you want to truly worship him, but you're worshiping him in error. And the worshipers of this God must worship him in spirit and in truth. Therefore, spirit, Yahweh is that spirit, the one who's giving the instruction, and truth is Yahweh's words. So you must do what he says or choose not to. Choice is yours. Listen now. Back to verse 3, Exodus 12, verse 3. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Yahosharal, saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too small for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. So in other words, he's saying, what if you have a family of 3? One lamb is too much too much meat for you to eat. So go to your neighbor and say, how many people in your family? I got 6, I got 9. One lamb can share between us. No, it might be still too much. All right, let's see the house down here on the left. Let's get, boom, boom. All of you come together. We're going to share this one lamb. All right, now, let's continue. Verse 5. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. You notice something? Nobody think you can use goat for the Passover. You must take it from the sheep or from the goats. Now, if this instruction is how we celebrate the Passover, then you have to know for certain that that lamb is 1 year old. So nobody can just bring you some meat. You can't just go buy it at the store. How old is the darn lamb? Secondly, does the lamb have any blemish? Does the lamb have a sore foot? Did he walk across the wire and get cut across his side and have a scar in his side? Was the lamb going grazes and then got, a piece of stick hit him in the eye and he's blind? None of those lambs will be accepted. If the lamb is younger than a year, if the lamb is older than a year, it's not accepted. According to the instruction from our God, the lamb has to be a year old. And it has to be without blemish. Now let's go to verse 5 again. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goat. You can't bring no she-goat. So when you buy the meat at the market and talk about you're going to do Passover, you have no idea what that goat is or lamb is. So, ladies and gentlemen, to truly celebrate the Passover, you have to know for yourself that the meat that you're about to use is according to the instructions of the Most High God. So if you're buying the lamb and think you're going to celebrate Passover, if you're buying the meat from the market, you're in violation right there because you don't know. You have to know these things. So that's why you have to raise the goat and the cow and the lamb yourself if you truly want to be sure that you're following the instructions of the Most High God. Second, verse 6, and you shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Yahusharel shall kill it in the evening. So this celebration doesn't last one day. It's not a one-day celebration. The Passover does not last one day. According to the instruction from the Most High God, you got to go 14 days before you even kill that lamb. Let's read it again. Verse 6 of Exodus chapter 12. And you shall keep it up until the 14th day of the month. So that means you must pick out this lamb on the first day of the month. You got to make sure the lamb is okay and no blemish. Then you shall keep that lamb for 14 days. And then after the 14 days, the whole congregation, let's read it here, of Yahusharel shall kill it on the evening. It wasn't it was a congregational thing. It was a community thing. Every person in the land of Yahusharel was to do this on the 14th day of the month. So the 14th day of the month was a slaughter. Thousands, if not millions of animals were killed that day. Okay, there's more. Let's follow. Come on, we're following these instructions now. Verse 7. When was it supposed to be killed? At evening. When is the evening? Just before the night falls. Evening and the morning was the first day. That means the evening is still part of the same day. So just before nightfall, that's when they were supposed to kill it. Now, if you look at how Yahushua died, he died on the so-called cross, right? But then after that, what happened? Darkness was over the face of the land. Nobody's paying attention to these things. If he was our Passover lamb, then he was crucified on the right time of the Passover. Evelyn was when he gave up the ghost from the 6th hour to the 9th hour. He cried out in a loud voice, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, which means in Aramaic, why have thou forsaken me? My God, my Elohim, why have thou forsaken me? But anyway, who's listening anyway? Let's continue that. Let's continue. Verse 7 again. And they shall take off the... let's go back here. Verse 6. And you shall keep it up until the 14th day of the month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Yahusharel shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on 2 sides of the post of the upper door post of the house, wherewith you shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night. When was it eaten? At night. Roast with fire, and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs shall eat it. They eat it. Eat not of it raw. That means it cannot be medium rare. As a matter of fact, medium rare is against the commandments of God. Most of you so-called Christians, right, eat a lot of medium rare meat. But anyway, we're getting into that. Nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire his head, listen to this now, with his legs, and with the purtenance thereof. And he shall not let of it remain until morning. And that which remain of it until the morning, you shall burn with fire. In other words, you must yam the whole thing. And if you don't, and if anything left over, must be burned up with fire. Let's continue. Verse 11. And thou shalt you eat it with your loins girded. Come on now. There's some instructions there. You must gird your loin. I mean, put your belt on or something and gird up yourself. Right? And what he says here, your shoes on your feet and your staff in your hands. You shall eat it in haste. So it's not no slow, hey, how you doing, man? Like, you must eat these things like you're trying to get out of here. And then he says, it is the Yahweh's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both men and beasts, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am Yahweh. Come on now. Against what? All the gods of Egypt. He's teaching them a lesson that he is the one true God. Let me tell you something. That's why I said, if you're worshiping another God, this God that we worship is going to bring the fight to you. Because he's going to, there can't be two gods. Because one has to be greater and one has to be lesser. And since this God said, there's no other God but him. If you're calling yourself a God, then you better get ready for fight. Because there can only be one champion. There can only be one champion. There can only be one greatest. Come on now. Let's continue to read here. Verse 13. And the blood shall be to you for a token unto the house where you are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. And this day, come on now, and this day, and which day? This day, Passover, shall be unto you for a memorial, and you shall keep it a feast to the Most High God throughout your generations. You shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. He goes on to say in verse 15, 7 days shall you eat unleavened bread. Even the first day you shall put away unleavened bread, unleavened out of your house. For whosoever eat unleavened bread, let me read that again. 7 days shall you eat unleavened bread. Even the first day you shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eat leavened bread shall, from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from amongst Yahushua. So only unleavened bread must be eaten for 7 days. After the 7 days, you can eat it. So what Yahweh is doing, he says, listen, just take it out of your house. Don't have it nowhere in your house because you might make a mistake and eat it. That mistake might cost you life. But then he goes on, verse 16, and in the first day they shall be a holy convocation, and in the 7th day there shall be a holy convocation unto you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done for you. And you shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for in this selfsame day I have brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore you shall observe this day in your generation by the ordinance forever. He goes on, he doesn't stop there. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, day of the month, at evening, you shall eat unleavened bread until 1 and 20 days of the month at evening. So now they're going to eat some more bread until 21 days pass. Then he goes on, 7 days shall there be no leavened bread in your houses, for whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Yahushua, whether he be a stranger or born in the land. You shall not eat anything leavened in all the inhabitants, and all your inhabitations shall you eat unleavened bread. Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel, Yahushua, and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families, and kill it for the Passovers. So you claim to be celebrating Passover. You have no idea what you're doing. And I was an idiot too, and deceived too, talking about I'm celebrating Passover. Man, please. You have no idea what it means to celebrate Passover. What was given to us is the mockery. Easter is a celebration of Satan. It's the worship of the Eastern star, and Satan is that star. And this Passover that we're claiming to celebrate is a mockery to what Yahweh has instructed us to do. Therefore, Easter is in 100% violation of the commandments of God. You're better off not doing it because you don't know how to do it. And most people want to celebrate Easter because they think they're going to win favor with Yahweh. Good luck, because you're going to need that. You can't celebrate truth in error. Truth has to come out of error. The only way you're going to do this right is if Yahweh is in you. And I'm telling you, you're still in Egypt. And the only reason why Yahweh hasn't destroyed this Egypt is because too many righteous people live here. He said to Abraham, if I find 40 righteous people in the city, I will not destroy it. When the children of Yahushua surround Jericho, They were given instructions to walk around the city one day, every day, for 6 days. And on the seventh day, the instruction was to march around the city 7 times. And after that, they would make a shout. It's not their power that took the walls down, it was the power of Yahweh and their ability to understand and comprehend and follow his instructions. But when the spy was sent to spy out the land, there was one lady in there named Rebecca. If Rebecca or Rachel left, one of the name, I'm messing up the name, maybe. And when she heard of the spy, she hid them in her house. And because of her act of bravery, they gave her a red sash to place on her window or her door. And when they come into the city, they will see that red sash. And anyone that was behind that door would have been saved. Anyone that was behind that door, whether they be Egyptians, Jerichoians, if there was you want to call them, Philistine, whoever was behind that door, it didn't matter what nation they came from. It didn't matter who they were, which gods they serve. If they were behind that door, when they came in and saw that red sash, everybody in that house would be saved. When Yahweh passed by and saw the blood, it didn't matter who was behind the door. If you read your Bibles, you will see that a mixed multitude came out of Egypt that day, because some people, after the first and second plague, they say, wait a minute, we've been worshiping this statue for 10 years and it never moved, never blinked an eye. But here comes Moses, who said his God is going to do some things that it happened. Come on, man. If you were there, you would jump ship too. Okay? I'm worshiping this God for eons and nothing is happening. Never moved, never talked to me. And here comes someone said, my God is coming in here to destroy your gods. And he says this is going to happen. And it happened. And you say, okay, that could be a chance. That could be luck. That could happen by itself. But then he comes back again and he told you specifically what's going to happen, verbatim. And it happened just like that. And then at this point, now you start scratching your head because you're like, all right, man, I know. All right. And you start reasoning with yourself. But then he comes in again and said a third plague coming. But this time, the old sun that y'all worship as God is going to be blocked out for 3 days. And just in case you think it's a fluke, there will be light over there where these people worship that God who's going to blot out the sun. And there'll be darkness over here, which you people worship that God as sun. And you will see it will last that way for 3 days. And it did. At some point, man, you got to say, all right, because that's the God of the Egyptian, the sun God. And this God blocked him out for 3 days, just like he said. All right, I'm jumping ship. You know what I mean? So some people who was friends with the Egyptians are who, because even in slavery, if you look at slavery in this country, if you look at slavery and you look at the Holocaust and you look at all these things, there were good, nice Germans who was hiding Jews from the Nazis. And even in slaveries in American times and in the islands, there were some good, nice people, good, nice white people that was hiding slaves. You don't think the God of heaven favored those people? Of course he did. Same thing that was happening, guys. So then when the time of Exodus come, you think those nice people who was hiding these people did not get caught up and left and to serve that God who kept them alive because of their great act of worship? Of course. So my conclusion is, as I draw my conclusion close today, my conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm hoping your conclusion is this: who passed over your house? And which God are you serving? I serve Yahweh, the only true God. I've never kept this Passover. Never. And there's a lot of things in this book that I've never done. My life is in his hands. And he can do with it whatever he wants. But in my limited understanding of who he is, the best thing I can do for myself right now, ladies and gentlemen, is this. I may not know how to worship him, but here's one thing I know for certain, is that I'm not going to worship some other gods. I will not bow down to your laws, your statutes, and your decrees. I will not violate the commandments of God by those statutes, laws, and decrees. I will not worship your God. And I will preach his words to the end of my life. And I'll rest assured that his mercy endureth forever. I will not go to your churches. I will not worship at your altars. I will not bow down to your gods. I will not do it. And I will not be silent. I will preach the gospel, whether you cut me off or not, whether you block all my shows or not, whether you censor me or not, I will still preach the gospel. I'll preach it with my words, my actions, my deeds, and my life. And I will proclaim to all the world today and every day, I serve Yahweh, the only true God. He alone is my life and my protector, my strong tower and my refuge. And he is my judge. I pray he has mercy on me. And before I can save anyone else, I have to save myself. And since I can't save myself, I'm going to lean on him to save me. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Meka Alban Yahosharal. I want to say follow me on TikTok, but I don't know if I have a TikTok now. But you can still follow me on Facebook and YouTube at Michael L. Soul. And may Yahweh bless you. Peace.